speaking of Barcelona, here are a couple of their transfer targets. Yes, the one that made us go, huh? They have been linked with Victor Gyökeres, but as we keep talking about, despite the business they have done this summer, number one should be a striker. Surely, Shaka, surely.
Without question. You lose somebody like Lewandowski and their goals and his goals. Yeah, you totally understand that. Julian Alvarez is the preferred target, but he's not going anywhere. Surprising to see Victor Gyökeres at the top of that list all the same.
All right, well, let's welcome back in our Alex Kirkland, who's been pitch side for us at the Metropolitano following Atleti's win over Malaga. All right, Alex, let's talk about Barcelona, though, quickly, because we just showed some of their transfer targets. They are ones that kind of had us puzzled in terms of Victor Gyökeres. Of course, we saw Lautaro Martinez as well. We know what they need, or at least we think we know what they need. Which of those names that we just saw is actually realistic for Barcelona to get?
Yeah, it's quite a mixed bag, isn't it? It's a real assortment of names on that list, all kinds of profiles. Doesn't really seem to be any sort of through line I can see in terms of what links all of those players. It does feel a bit like it was sort of Julian, and now they are scrabbling around looking for alternatives. Lautaro Martinez, of course, I think would be, if they could get him, would be fantastic. His name's been linked to Barcelona before, been linked to La Liga before. The question is, can you get him out of Inter at this stage, given how important he is to them and given what he's done with them? I think that's highly unlikely. Gyökeres doesn't seem to me at all like a Barcelona-style player. But it'll depend, of course, how desperate they are and what stage we get in the window with them still needing to bring in somebody, because they've got to bring in somebody for sure.
Well, do they already have somebody, though, in Hamza Abdelkarim? Alex, we know how much Barcelona rely on their youngsters, and rightfully so, because they seem to come with a wealth of experience already for the big stage. So is he someone that Barcelona can rely on?
People are getting excited about him, and he's done exactly what you want a player in that position to do in pre-season. He's seized this opportunity. He's done everything he could possibly have done, I think, to convince Hansi Flick and to convince the club that he should be part of the first-team squad. Of course, it would be premature to make him, have him as the guy leading your line going into the season. That would be too soon. It wouldn't be a healthy situation, I think, for him either. But like I say, he couldn't have done anything more than what he's done in pre-season. He looks the real deal.
Shaka, we know that Barcelona, of course, have taken care of business in La Liga, but what they really want, again, is to get to all the way winning the Champions League. They don't have Ferran Torres anymore. They don't have Lewandowski anymore. So realistically, if they don't sign an out-and-out striker now, how do they compete for that?
I'm not sure. I think they have enough to, again, win La Liga and go 3 in a row with playing that false 9, whether it's Gordon, as was mentioned earlier this year, or Rafinha, who can play that position as well. But I think to scale, to beat the best in Europe, you want that out-and-out striker. Julian Alvarez is not going to happen. We have to accept at this point. So now you look at who else is left. I'm like Alex. Lautaro Martinez is the one that ticks all the boxes for me, but he's got another 3 years left on his contract with Inter Milan. How much is it going to cost for them to get him out of that? If Inter want to lose him this late in the transfer window without enough time, in their opinion, to replace him, again, you just wonder if that's a deal that can't be done. Maybe Luis Suarez from Sporting is an easy fix in bringing him over. But there just isn't. Nobody ticks all the boxes and is an easy get. So now you're just trying to figure out what's the best option, though it may not be ideal.
That would work out for them financially as well. Even though we know Barcelona can do some financial gymnastics.
I've stopped trying to figure out how Barcelona would do. I want Barcelona's accountant to come and have a look at my finances.
The way they find money, I hope they can look at my bank account and find that kind of money. Of course, that you were just working on for us, Atletico de Madrid, with a nice 2-0 win over Malaga. Just your thoughts on the game.
Yeah, they got the job done. They'll be pleased, I think, with the outcome of the game. It's not an easy situation at this stage of the season, opening game. Half the players aren't fully fit. Literally half the first team wasn't able to start this match. What we saw was the huge quality they've got in the squad, huge quality coming off the bench in the second half when you can bring on players like Alex Baena, a world champion with Spain, brilliant at the World Cup, scored a goal here. Kangin Lee, a new signing, brilliant goal from him as well. They've brought in some quality in him this summer. Marcus Llorente as well, Giuliano Simeone, so many players. Other players didn't even get off the bench that are really good potential first-team players. So they showed the strength they've got in this squad. They will have a good team once they're all match fit, once those players are starting games. It was tough. Malaga, I was quite impressed with them, especially in the first half. You can see they're a club that have come up with a really clear idea of how they want to play. A lot of these players, the team's barely changed since last season. I thought they did really well. But in the end, yeah, Atleti, I think, be pleased with the results. And we know there's a lot more to come from them. The one big question mark for them will be centre forward. Julian, if he does indeed stay, as it looks like is going to be the case right now, what sort of state is he going to be in terms of his morale? And what sort of role can he play and how soon can he play? And what sort of reception will he get when he's eventually available here at the Metropolitano?
Yeah, and Alex, we saw a couple of new faces and new signings for Atletico de Madrid today. You got to catch up with one of the new signings after the game. What did he have to say?
Yeah, Kang-in Lee had a word with him. He's quite a humble kind of guy. He wasn't getting carried away. He said that he's getting there in terms of his adaptation. Of course, he's a player who knows this league extremely well. Came through here at Valencia, was at Mallorca before going to PSG. So in terms of adaptation, it should be pretty minimal. But he said, he's getting there step by step with his teammates, with the coaching staff. Made the instant impact today. Looked really, really good. Not just with the goal, with his all-round game as well. The kind of player who can bring the kind of things that Atletico sometimes lack, I think, in terms of creativity and spark in the final third. But yeah, he sounded sort of cautiously, delighted, of course, with the goal, but sort of taking everything very much in his stride.
All right, Alex Kirkland, thank you so much for hanging out with us all day, Alex. But it is the start of a new La Liga season, so we'll be seeing plenty more of Alex Kirkland and plenty more of these two. A fresh edition of the Gab and Jules Show is available now wherever you get your podcasts. All right, that's all she wrote, Shaq. That's a wrap for ESPN FC, but do not go anywhere because Extra Time is next.